Hey, everybody. This is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. How are y'all doing? So I wanted to come on here because I'm always reading articles, watching videos, doing commentary, watching commentary. And I am I'm empathetic to a mother who has lost her child, who has by someone who raped and unalived them, and second one, Lake and Raleigh, and with it was Alexis Nungaray here in Houston. But what I'm concerned about is that their deaths being used for political theater, um, to further the Republican or Trump or MAGA's agenda. I want justice for these young ladies, Lake and Riley, Alexis Nungaray, Rachel Morin, whose mother's Patty spoke at the White House press briefing today. But my concern is this narrative. Like, definitely government should be held responsible if these men came here illegally and they raped and unalived someone. There was obviously a failure in the system if they got in several times and got kicked out in some cases and still, wasn't, able to get away from the law or the border patrol or ICE or but in Alexis Nungaray's case, her killers or her unalivers are, I believe, in custody, going to go to trial. They've been caught. Lake and Riley's attacker arrested, caught. I think going to be on trial. Rachel Morin's attacker, killer, unaliver just had his trial wrap up and found guilty. Now it's the sentencing phase. So I feel like in their three cases, justice for them has been served. Now, do the government, federal government, state government, should bear some responsibility. If there was a failure to stop these men from coming into this country several times, and they were able to do these things because of opportunity, definitely I feel like the government, to a certain extent, is responsible. But at the same time, the procedures for people coming into this country, and for those who've been kicked out once or twice, there should be the ability for them not to come back again. That being said, I have this to say. Rachel Morin was killed or unalived by Vicente Hernandez, who also is from El Salvador. So it's not lost on me that they specifically went and found Rachel Morin's mother, who's also, by the way, from Maryland, to bring her out here to this White House press secretary after Caroline Leavitt, who is the vice press secretary, is talking about the fact that, hey, the Trump administration doesn't have to do anything. They don't have no authority to tell El Salvador, hey, bring Abrego Garcia back. But they keep putting this narrative like, oh no, he's part of MS-13. Well, first you said Trinidad Agua. Now you say MS-13. You said, oh, it was a clerical error, but oh, he still deserved to be over there. He's an El Salvadoran citizen. So you don't want to bring him back. So to reiterate that fact, you bring out Rachel Morin's mother, whose daughter was killed by an illegal immigrant from the same damn country, El Salvador. That is not lost on me. Y'all knew what y'all was doing when y'all did that. I didn't see her at the. Did y'all see her at the joint session of Congress? And I saw Lincoln Riley's family. I believe I saw Elise Nessie, Lexus Nungaray's family. I think I did too. And the thing is that I put both articles in there. One of them has the video to the mom speaking, Patty Morin speaking to the White House person, but she's angry, and I understand her being angry. And she's upset because she's like, hey, my daughter died. This senator from Maryland, where I'm from, didn't speak, according to, I'm just paraphrasing, didn't speak or come out of daughter's defense. And he's going all the way to El Salvador to bring an illegal immigrant back that is not even a U.S. citizen. And my thing is, okay, maybe he should have. My thing is, did he not speak out at all about her daughter in 2023 when this happened? And by the way, it's 2025. The trial just happened. The sentencing phase is coming up. Were there other, because, you know, each state has 2 senators. Was the other senator, did that person talk about your daughter or speak out justice for them? You have to also understand, Abrego Garcia, there are immigrant lawyers who are involved. Hispanic caucus is involved. This man is from Maryland. This is probably the first politician from Maryland that I have even heard in the last month say anything about Abrego Garcia. Okay? Especially after the El Salvador president sat next to Trump and said, I'm not bringing him back over here. And Trump not saying anything, even though the Supreme Court said, yeah, you need to facilitate his transfer back here. Now he's probably going to be brought up on contempt charges, hey, Black Anonymous. And so now to further the Trump, you know, that, hey, this man, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, is an illegal immigrant who's part of a gang that is deemed a terrorist group by the United States. He belongs in El Salvador. You brought out Patty Morin, whose daughter was killed, unalive, raped and unalive by another El Salvadoran immigrant. That is not lost on me. And this is what I'm going to say. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is not Victor Vicente Hernandez. Kilmar Abrego Garcia did not kill this woman's daughter. You can have empathy for Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and you also can have empathy for Patty Morin and the death of her child. They're not mutually exclusive. But to me, you exploited this woman's grief so that you can put forth your narrative that you keep putting forth for a whole month, and you're not showing that you gave due process, what you're supposed to do, no matter if someone is a legal immigrant, natural-born citizen, naturalized citizen, person with a visa, or a person who has a green card. You have not shown us, hey, here is the definitive proof that this man was an MS-13. You know why you're bringing out Patty Morin in this story? Because you hope to pull on people's heartstrings so you don't have to show nobody any proof. Why can't you come out with any proof and say, hey, this is what we have here, over here in the DOJ, over here in the Department of Homeland Security, over here in the State Department, that, hey, Kilmar Abrego Garcia and the other 237 people we sent to El Salvador, this is the reasons why they are over there. This is our definitive proof. You don't have that. So you go for theatrics. But I'm seeing through your theatrics, and that's why I'm over here, and I'm letting other folks know. Because that's what I'm going to say this too here. I do see the unequal treatment and how you all were using Alexis Nangare's mother and her death, and Lake and Riley, and also Patty Moore. Because guess what? There's no Alexis Nungare Act. Why is it called Lake and Riley Act? Why is it not called Riley Nungare Act? They died within months of each other. Heck, Patty Moore, her child died 2 years ago. Why is it not called Morin, Nungare, and Riley? And I noticed that you bring out Lake and Riley when it's time to sign the law. You also showed her out at the joint session of Congress. Then now you're bringing Patty Morin's mother to the press house brief so everyone can see her. Guess what? Both of them are white. Caucasians. Caucasian ladies. Anglo-Americans. And they were raped and unalived by Hispanic men from another country, who, by the way, were browner skinned Hispanics. I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You didn't do that with Alexis Nungare. Why you didn't do that? Huh? Because guess what? In both those cases, those men's cases, which most men do, or most predators, they prey on people in their own community. You're appealing to racism when you brought out the Caucasian woman's mothers to talk about these browner skinned Latinos who unalived their child. I see what you're doing. If you want to get justice for Lake and Riley and Patty and Rachel Warren, then you should be giving that same intensity for Alexis Nungare. But you're giving it crumbs. All three of those women, young ladies, were accosted when they were by themselves. Alexis Nungare, people can say, hey, she shouldn't have been out that late going to the store, but she was by herself, and people saw someone who was vulnerable and they took advantage. The same thing with Lake and Riley, and the same thing with Patty Moore. I think they were at the park, they were jogging, and they got followed, and they were alone, and someone took advantage of that. But like I said before, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is not Victor Vicente Hernandez. He did not kill this woman's child. And y'all exploited that woman's grief. She should have been brought out at the joint session. She should have been brought out for I don't know, when y'all Women's History Month. Hey, we're gonna protect young women. You wanted the right act talking about, we don't want boys and girls sports. What about protecting women in general from sexual violence? And I really do feel for that lady. Like, I'm looking at her like, damn, she lost her child. And I can see why she'd be mad at this senator from going down there to get this other man back, because probably in her mind, all she sees is Victor Vicente Hernandez. But he is not. He is not. He is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. His wife and his child want him back. A judge said he was not supposed to be removed. And instead of the United States owning up to their mistake and doing due process like they should have, they just gonna put on this show. So they're gonna find themselves an illegal immigrant. They want to find them a story. Oh, here's another illegal immigrant that killed someone Why y'all? This is my thing. Why y'all ain't putting Vincente on the goddamn plane today? Huh? Most likely he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail. Maryland doesn't have the death penalty anymore. The mom was upset about that. She was like, I know y'all got rid of the death penalty, but I think y'all should bring it back. The mom, I don't know. Mom, I mean, go back and rewatch it, but watch it. But maybe Patty Morin should have said, "Hey, y'all need to get Victor Vicente Hernandez on the damn plane and bring Abrego Garcia back. Y'all got the wrong one." As far as I'm concerned, swap them out. They got fingerprints, DNA, everything on Vicente. That's what I'm saying. She got justice for her daughter. Abrego Garcia's wife and child are trying to get him justice because he don't have it. They said he was in a gang. We don't have. They ain't showed us no evidence. They ain't showed us no picture, no photograph. They're like, oh, he got a tattoo. Everybody down there that was on that plane had a tattoo. That didn't mean that they were in a gang. One guy had an autism tattoo. So what does autism got anything to do with a damn gang? Yeah, and they did, and they and they did it purposely because that lady was white, the victim was white, and she was a cute, beautiful Rachel, a cute, beautiful young lady. She was also a mother herself. But yeah, and then I looked at Vicente Hernandez. I was like, oh, he's a brother skinned Hispanic. I said, oh, okay, I see what y'all doing. Y'all appealing to racism and you're fear mongering at the same time. Just y'all. And the same thing with what's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. I talked about this morning. She was over there doing things, fear mongering, repeating things Trump says, gaslighting, wanting to say it's the Democrats who are all about the violence, but you got 1,500 people. She defended that basically it was involved in an insurrection and a riot, January 6th, 2021. She want to say these pro-life protesters who were found guilty. I think they either blocked a Planned Parenthood, and I think they may have assaulted one of the doctors, and they were put in jail. But they all got pardons by the president because they're calling them protesters, peaceful. Really? You blocking the sidewalk? You hitting doctors? You going into building that? Okay. All right. I think Victor Vicente Hernandez should, he's already in jail. I think he should go to hell. If not, send him back to El Salvador, that damn jail himself. But y'all ain't right about keeping Kilmar Abrego Garcia over there. My thing is this: Trump won't be in office forever. Y'all, no, not in Jesus' name, he won't. So guess what? Just like some of those other countries, their leaders are going before the ICC, or they're going before some type of, court, or the people who helped them get that job comes up responsible, because the pendulum is going to swing to the left, and hopefully we get our shit together and we're organized and make sure those people actually do become responsible, and not have someone wants to just pardon people later on, Because I thought you couldn't get pardoned, because according to the Constitution, I did read it, you're not supposed to get a pardon for treason. So, you trying to overthrow an election, okay? You okay? So, okay. People up here trying to paint a narrative and paint a picture, and I'm just like, I'm not drinking a Kool-Aid. And as much as I got a voice, I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna let y'all know, and I'm gonna let y'all know what the sources are too, so that you can read it for yourself. Okay? Don't believe the hype. This is political. Marjorie Taylor Greene's town hall. This thing with Caroline Leavitt, who's vice president, bringing out Patty Morin. This is political theater. They trying to pull on your heartstring, your sensories, and they don't want you to pay attention to their side, not even giving you the facts. They're making it us versus them. They're appealing to xenophobia or anti-immigrant sentiments, and they're appealing to racism. Because I was looking at this, I said, wait a minute. I said, okay. Because they already tried it during the last couple of years when the governors like mine and DeSantis putting immigrants who arrived here on buses and sending them to democratic cities, right? And they were already getting resources to deal with, whoever came to their city, but you sent more, putting a strain on the relationship between the American-born people who live there and the ones who just arrived. Y'all trying to pit black people, and sometimes it works, against immigrants. Like, oh, they're getting all this and we're not getting, because white people wanted us to be on their side. No. Because the same rhetoric you use against them, you use it against us, and vice versa. You actually contributing to the problem. And we actually passed a law was passed here, signed by a governor. I didn't support it. Law for if you come here illegally, you automatically get arrested. So that's Border Patrol, which I didn't know at the time. Like, I guess whoever arrives, they go through a process, and I guess they determine like who gets to stay in the detention center or who gets to come. And I guess that's where the whole CBP app came from. And now that's even the people who actually came in through the app, did everything they were supposed to. Now they telling them like, oh, none of y'all can stay. Wait a minute. Where's the due process? What a judge? Don't they want to see a judge? And I thought y'all said only criminals was leaving. Oh, now anyone illegal is criminal. We not. So you throwing the Vicentes and the Kilmars and everybody else and their mama, their grandpa. Some people have been here 30, 40 years. They're legal resident, illegal. They contributed to society. I'm like, dang, they don't even get no consideration. And then now the president talking about, well, we got some homegrown criminals. I want to send them over there too. Wait, U.S. citizens, you want to send them too? Wait a damn minute. Yeah, but this is the thing. The immunity that he has, it's not full immunity. It's not full immunity. Because if he's doing something in his capacity as the president that is against the law, he don't got immunity for that. Not from that. And right now, either he's gonna get a contempt charge, or I guess one of those people, either Secretary of State Rubio or someone in the Department of Homeland Security, Nome, or somebody over there in I don't know, the borders are. Somebody gonna have to follow their knife for him, because he likes loyalty. So who's going to take the contempt charge, either a fine or jail time? Because the judge said, hey, facilitate his return back here. And this is the thing. Also check out the article in here. When Senator Van Hollen to El Salvador, he talked to the vice president of the United States, and the vice president of the United States said, "No, you can't see him." And so the senator from Maryland said, "Hey, can I talk to him via phone?" The man said, "No." He says, "Well, can his wife back home talk to him here?" He said, "No, I don't think so." And the man was like, "Well, if I come back next week, can we work?" So no, he said, "I don't know if it's going to happen there." Guess what? So they're not cooperating. Guess what? Senator Van Hollen went to the American Embassy. How about the American Embassy said they never received any instructions from the president or anything dealing with Kilmar Abrego Garcia? Sound like contempt to me. I mean, you. Matter of fact, you had the El Salvador president sitting next to you. You didn't say nothing in front of them cameras, saying, "Hey, I'm gonna send a plane down there and just put Abrego on the plane and bring him back." But Trump administration would say, "Well, I can't make them give him back." Really? You gave them $6 million to take the ones you got. And then someone else made a really good point. I didn't know if y'all knew this or not. I don't know if y'all know about this man named is it named Chris Tate? Well, they got the Tate brothers. So there's a section of YouTube called the Manosphere, and they're very much macho man. It's like incels on steroids. It's all about controlling women, more women. And these men, two men from Romania, are accused of sexual assault. I think also keeping people. Now, according to from last week, they said he was alive, but the Senator Van Hollen was trying to see him. Um, but the two from Romania, right? Well, guess what? President Trump asked Romania to let them two come to the United States. So if you can let two alleged sexual, predators to come to the United States, you asked a country to let them come here, and they came. You can't do that for Abrego Garcia. We know what the Tate brothers do. They do everything on YouTube, social media, everything. Their victims actually filed police reports. There's a paper trail. You allow two predators in this country that technically, according to y'all, shouldn't even be allowed here. But Abrego Garcia got to stay over there. Because y'all made a mistake, and you don't want to say you really made a mistake. Because even when they made the mistake, they were still saying, "Oh no, he still belong over here." Like, wait a minute. How many more people? Yeah, they started with the immigrants. They're gonna move to the next minority group. They already just happened from different countries, right? They're a teacher, a South Korean teacher here, got his visa pulled in the middle of the night. Now he was teaching class, so I had to take it over. There are other international students. Their stuff is being pulled in the middle of the night, and people and Martin Taylor Greene was trying to say, "Oh, y'all always talking about this thing about fascists. I don't ain't nothing about fascists about our part." I read history books. I teach history. When you start rounding up people because they are different, or because they speak differently than you, or you round them up based on flimsy evidence that doesn't not really there, that's what fascists do. Yeah, and this is the thing. And my thing is this: what do you think other countries are going to do about our students who are studying abroad? Because right now, Denmark has two of our U.S. students that are arrested right now. And then there's another country I think has I forget what other country has one of our students too. But then unfortunately, American citizens do have a reputation that we think our rights here in this country extend over there, and we can just say or do whatever. No. I told my students that when we went over the different types of governments around the world, I said, look, these are our rights here, but this country right here, this is a theocracy. Their laws are based on the Quran. You can't do everything that's over here you can do over there. And I brought a real life example. This is a girl from Houston. This man was obviously trying to swindle her out of some money, and he yelled at her, and she yelled at him back. Then he called the police on her and used their laws against her. Then Ted Cruz did the one thing I liked. He actually, because I think he sit on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he helped get her back home. It took her 6 months, but he got her back. From a theocratic government, I don't know if y'all remember from the 90s when this boy, he was vandalizing in Bangkok, and their punishment was to cane him several times. And people say, oh no, he's American, so you can't do it to him. He's over there vandalizing according to their laws. And then they, on one of the talk shows, they did a demonstration. They had I don't know if he was Marine or Navy or SEAL or something, and they had him get one caning, and that man fell on the floor. They had to go get some people to take him to get some help. They wanted to do that 3, 4, 5 times for the boy to do vandalism. You can't be out here doing this stuff. And in certain countries, it's against a lot to be gay. You automatically thrown into jail. You saw what happened to Brittany Griner when she just had cartridges. I need to renew my passport too. But right now, I told my students, hey, your family members, they may or may not be illegal. Don't be trying to leave the country and come back in, because that's when they really gonna look at you. That's how some of these MAGA Republicans, their loved ones got picked up because they went somewhere and came back, and then they were like, oh, my loved one's in the middle of the process. Well, according to the U.S. government, she's illegal, so they took her. Another man, they took his wife. He wanted to talk to Trump, but they can work out a deal. Like, what? And they were the ones that voted for Trump. And wanted everybody else deported but their spouse. Okay. I know for a fact that I'm gonna be quiet. Be quiet. Because I see some stuff I don't say anything about. But I see it. Yeah. Yeah, there was a couple that came from turn around. That came from Vermont or Canada. And I think one of them was an American. And he got detained for a couple of guess what? A lady, she was going to Costco, and I guess there's a Costco. I don't know if she was in Detroit or Wisconsin, but she got on the I guess the bridge that went to Canada by accident. So she turned around and came back in, and guess what? She got detained. She made an accident driving. I was coming back into the country, and she got detained. This is the Canadian-U.S. border. So they ain't just doing the stuff at the southern border no more. They doing it up there too. And then Tabitha Speaks Politics, she made a good point. She said I forget who the person was. She said they're complaining about why are U.S. citizens going to other places and they can just stay right here. And so she said, well, if they want certain people to leave the country, what is stopping them from keeping us here that we can't go out? And I was like, dang, I didn't really think about it like that. That's true. But then this is also another thing someone else said too. What if your country is so awful, you want to take a chance on coming here anyway? But the way Trump is doing right now is like, if you don't self-deport, you can't try to come back. So if they pick you up, you deported, you can't come back at all. Like to try to come back. So yeah. It was one lady, I think she was an actress from Canada. She had problems. I think she went to Mexico. I was coming back here. But you know what, though? I don't blame Canada not being happy with us, because Canada and Mexico has every right to be mad with us. And this is the thing, is like, I teach history. I really need to do this series. I just don't have time to show you the stuff that Trump is doing that has been done in U.S. history before. These tariffs, they did it during the Great Depression. They thought, oh, this is going to help people buy more American. We're going to get more taxes from, higher imports, higher tariffs from other countries during the Great Depression. Guess what? We raised our tariff. All the other countries in the world raised theirs. It worsened the Great Depression by several more years. And look what he's doing. So when those other countries, when I heard he was doing the tariffs, I kept saying, oh, they just going to give us the same tariff back. And they did exactly that. And now other people are like, well, why are they putting these tariffs on us? Because why the hell not? We started it. They ready to play too. These are not the same leaders that he is dealing with that he dealt in 2020, 2017 to 2021. He's still dealing with Putin. He's still dealing with the Ayatollah. He's in Iran. He's still dealing with Kim Jong-un in North Korea. I think he's still dealing with Xi in China. But guess what? Putin says he's a democracy, but he acts like a dictator. Kim Jong-un, dictator. Okay? Xi, president, but only one party that's recognized there. Communist. So they gotta do what he say. Dictator, you wanna say it. Our president trying to be one. But every day he pisses more and more people off. So it's just that's what's really aggravating him. And unfortunately, these Republicans, y'all gave up too much control because you wanted to be in power, and now you can't do nothing with that big baby child up there. Yeah, they tariff up to tariff down. And then he told his own people, he lied to them tomorrow, I'm going to make sure they pay the tariff. Y'all don't know what a tariff was? A tax? It's a tax. Then he put, and every time that we tariff them, they tariff us back, he delays it. Oh, it's not going to start till 2 weeks. Oh, it's not going to start till 2 more weeks. Oh, I'm going to do a 90-day pause. Oh, China got 125, 145. Oh, everything over there is 145, but the electronics that most of us use. Okay, sir. Just say you made a mistake and move on. But no, he does this shit just because it's on his brain in the middle of the night. And then later on, he found out that it was wrong. And now he's making this. Oh, Lord. Yeah, market manipulation. They said Martin Luther King made $2 million. He probably caught up some of his friends. He invited some people to the White House. Someone caught it on tape. He was telling like, oh, this man made $900 million a day. Oh, this man made $900 million. Oh, this guy made $2 billion a day. Guess who was in the room, y'all? Zuckerberg. But guess who is guess what? Some whistleblowers are talking about Zuckerberg right now. So No wonder he was at Mar-a-Lago sucking up to him, because he know they're being investigated. What he lying at? He been kind of quiet for a couple of days. So, but y'all, let me get in here. I just want to come on now because I really need to go to bed early tonight, get up early. Tomorrow's business history star test. I tutored some kids after school today. So y'all pray for the kids tonight, tomorrow. Everybody, all the teachers, principals, schools, everybody. I need to give an update because there was another school shooting from a school that I reported on last year. Wilmer T. Hutchinson in Dallas area. They had another school shooting. This is like second year in a row. And I want to say this was about the same time last year. So, but they haven't found the person yet. So, yeah. So I'm looking at that. I need to double check on the Frisco kid, Carmelo Anthony. I need to go by the Pascal show. It looks like his some people were upset because some black people, probably some white allies, Hispanic, Asian, gave his family some money, I guess GoFundMe. And he collected over $250,000. And so there were, I guess, white people were like, well, why y'all do that? And people forgot, like, oh, didn't some of y'all give money to George Zimmerman? Didn't some of y'all give the Kyle Rittenhouse? Right? So why are y'all surprised that we giving him money? But it looks like the boy's parents or family may have used the money besides for bail. So, or a lawyer. So I'll find out some more information about that. I don't know if that's gonna be a good look or not. So, So hey, Sigil Walkers, thank you, Black Anonymous Sigil Walkers, for being here. Please like, share, subscribe. Please check out these articles. This is Senator Hollen. He went to El Salvador, and I believe that there's members of the Hispanic caucus who are going to go. Now, they already said last week that they were going to contact the president of El Salvador, and Senator Holland said that there will be more congressional people coming. So, yeah, but definitely check out my video from this morning where I gave a description about the differences and similarities between Senator Chuck Grassley, he's a Republican from Iowa, his town hall versus Marjorie Taylor Greene's town hall. Like, night and day, y'all, night and day. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene, you might as well listen to the Trump. And she had the police on standby to take people out. And there are people who disagreed with Senator Chuck Grassley, but he still listened to them. So, all right. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of y'all evening. Stay safe out there. Fifth Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights. They need to have a warrant to search your home. Just letting y'all know. Be safe out here in these streets. Okay? All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.